The reason your phone shows tomorrow's weather is a Welsh shipwreck. I'm Nick Eigelhart, your host for this week's episode of The Weather Vault. On October 25th, 1859, a hurricane-force storm tore across the Irish Sea and changed how humans see the future of the sky, killing more than 800 people, destroying 133 ships, and badly damaging 90 more before it cleared. Driving a central pressure that dropped below 985 millibars and sustained winds estimated above 100 miles per hour, the storm earned a rating the Met Office still holds to, the worst to hit British coasts in the entire 19th century, and the toll is what earns it. The storm took its name from the most newsworthy of those wrecks, a steam clipper called the Royal Charter, that was carrying 388 passengers and 112 crew home from the Australian gold rush, 2 months out from Melbourne and within hours of Liverpool when the storm caught her. In her hold sat gold bullion worth 322,440 pounds, plus another 150,000 pounds in personal sovereigns, the savings of returning prospectors who had spent years digging for it, riches that bought them nothing once the wind shifted northeast. Faced with that shift, her captain dropped both anchors off the Anglesey coast and ran the engines into the gale to hold position, but both anchor cables snapped and left her with nothing to hold. Driven onto the rocks at Port Heliath in the early hours of the 26th, she went to pieces and more than 450 people would drown within yards of shore, a horror so complete that Charles Dickens visited the village 2 months later and could not let it go. That public horror over the wreck reached a man named Robert Fitzroy, the former captain of HMS Beagle, who had once carried Charles Darwin around the world and now ran the Board of Trade's tiny meteorological department in London, with 3 clerks and a telegraph network of weather observers. Having argued for years that storms could be tracked across the country in near real time, Fitzroy found in the Royal Charter gale both the data and the political opening he had been waiting for. And when he presented his analysis to the British Association in 1860, his charts proved the storm's warning signs had reached his telegraph network in the days before the ship went down. The information had been sitting there the whole time, and nobody had done anything with it, so Fitzroy set out to build the system that would. On February 5th, 1861, the first telegraph storm warning went out, and 6 months later, on August 1st, he published the first daily public weather forecast in human history in the Times of London, having first invented a word for the thing he was doing, and the word he picked was forecast. That Met Office service still runs today, broadcast as the shipping forecast on BBC Radio 4, the longest continuously operating national weather forecast in the world, which means every weather app on every phone in 2026 descends from a clerk in London marking pressure readings on a chart after one ship hit the rocks in Wales. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to always be informed of my latest videos.